Hello everyone, and welcome to another oddschecker.com/US preview of a primetime football game. On Thursday Night Football this week, we have the Green Bay Packers playing at the San Francisco 49ers. However, neither of these teams are at full strength. It is unclear if Aaron Jones is going to be able to play for the Packers, and they are also going to not have Jamal Williams due to the coronavirus. They don't have A.J. Dillon due to the coronavirus. They don't have Jamal Williams due to close contact to the coronavirus. But things are far worse on the 49ers side. They are going to be without half of their starting backfield, and the only active wide receiver on the roster that is fully healthy for them right now is Trent Taylor. Richie James is expected to play, but Brandon Ayuk is not going to play. Deebo Samuel is not going to play. George Kittle is not going to play. So it's going to be a very bare-bones crew for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm Davis Mattek from SportsGrid.com, and let's head over to oddschecker.com/US to take a look at the lines. We have the Green Bay Packers favored by minus 7.5 points at the road. The San Francisco 49ers, that means they are 7.5 point home dogs. You can get the Packers minus 335 on the money line, or you can get the 49ers at plus 300. The over-under for this game is 50.5. I definitely lean under on 50.5 for this specific game. So which side of 7.5 do we like? I think it pretty clearly does need to be the Green Bay Packers side. You know, I have a lot of respect for Kyle Shanahan as a coach. I don't actually think that the drop-off from Jimmy Garoppolo, who's going to miss 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain, to Nick Mullins is all that large. I mean, definitely I think that Nick Mullins is a worse quarterback, but I think in the context of the San Francisco 49ers offense, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. However, I think the Packers were probably the better team to begin with, and then when you start adding in all the offensive injuries for the San Francisco 49ers, I think pretty clearly you have to side with the Packers. The Packers are 4th in the NFL in yards per play. They average 0.4 more yards per play than the San Francisco 49ers, and that's a 49ers team with George Kittle, who is probably one of the 10 most influential offensive players in the NFL. That's without Deebo, and now they don't have Deebo Samuel. Now they don't have Brandon Ayuk, and so, a large amount of their offense is going to rely on quick passes to Jerick McKinnon. Jermichael Hasty keeping them on schedule on the ground, and he is an undrafted free agent out of Baylor. And I don't think that the injuries to the Green Bay backfield are really going to impact them the same way. And it doesn't really matter who the wide receivers are for the Green Bay Packers at this point because they have not played well all year. And actually, there is a chance, it's been reported that Alan Lazard, who was looking like, one of the best second wide receivers that Green Bay has had while Devontae Adams has been there, actually flew out to San Francisco this week. He is eligible to return from the short-term injured reserve, and we may actually see him playing this week. And if we look at, Football Outsiders DVOA as well, they're pretty bullish, generally speaking, on the Green Bay Packers, 2nd in the NFL in offensive DVOA. Their defense, though, is their weakness, all the way down at 29th in the NFL in DVOA. And, I have to say, against the 49ers right now, you'd much rather have an offense that can generate some points and yards because we're just not really feeling that bullish about Nick Mullins and Ross Dwelly, leading the 49ers offense to the promised land. I think that this is kind of the equivalent to a schedule loss in the NBA or the NHL where the entire deck is kind of stacked against you. I actually wouldn't be surprised if after publishing this video, we find out that this game gets postponed or moved. But our official selection here is going to be the Green Bay Packers minus 7.5, minus 335 on the money line, and I'm actually going to lean under on the total of 50 or 50.5, depending on what your book has. I think that this does end up playing out kind of like a 28-10 style game. I think it's going to be very hard for the 49ers offense to remain competitive here, so we are going to take the under. Everyone, so for oddschecker.com/US, this has been Davis Mattek. Good luck with your bets.